They say you're not motivated enough. But let me ask you, what does that even mean? Are you supposed to wait until you're in the mood to build your dream? Until dopamine drops like rain from heaven? Until your bed stops feeling like a magnet and your fears finally ask for your permission? No, you don't need more motivation. You need a reason that makes quitting impossible. You need a fire that doesn't die just because the wind shifts. You need a why that digs deeper than pain, deeper than fatigue, deeper than every excuse that dares whisper, "Not today," because motivation is a spark. Weak, momentary, easy to extinguish. But a why is fuel. It's oxygen. It's an engine that doesn't stall when life gets hard, it awakens. Motivation is, I'll do it when I feel like it. But a why says, I'll do it even if I'm broken, even if I'm doubted, even if no one claps when I win. Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. woke up every day motivated? No, he had death threats on his porch, jail cells with his name carved on the bars. But his why, the dream of freedom, burned hotter than fear. Do you think Thomas Edison kept experimenting through 10 failures because he felt inspired every morning? No, his why was brighter than the darkness of every failed prototype. You think motivation built the pyramids? You think motivation launched rockets into space? Motivation didn't put a man on the moon. Obsession did. Purpose did. Clarity did. Motivation is what you ask for when you don't know why you started. When you've lost your vision, when your goals are foggy, you scroll your phone looking for a quote to hit your soul like a defibrillator. But real builders, they don't scroll, they remember, because when your why is strong, it silences doubt. It's the answer to every, what if I fail? It's the punchline to every, you're not good enough. It's the reason you get back up when the world says stay down. You think David had motivation when he stood in front of Goliath with nothing but a slingshot? No, he had purpose. He wasn't there for fame. He wasn't there for applause. He was there because someone had to be. And here's the truth most people won't say out loud. If you keep needing motivation to do your work, it means your dream is still optional, still negotiable, still in the would-be-nice category. You haven't made the decision that you will burn the ships, storm the shore, and never look back. And until that decision is made, motivation will keep coming and going like a cheap addiction. It'll fool you into thinking you're trying, when deep down, you know, you're still half in. Find a reason that demands full commitment. A why that drags you out of bed at Sodom with no alarm. A why that makes discipline inevitable. A why that's louder than your cravings, bigger than your critics, and deeper than your fears. Because when your why is strong, you don't need motivation anymore. You become motivation. When your why is clear, your fear becomes irrelevant. You stop asking, what if I fall? And start saying, so what if I bleed? You stop negotiating with your limits. You stop bargaining with weakness. Because now, it's personal. People talk about goals like they're accessories. A6, pack, a new car, a luxury lifestyle. But what if the goal is survival? What if it's your family's future on the line? What if it's a vow you made to your younger self? I will not die in the same cage I was born in. Now ask yourself again, do you need motivation? Or do you need to remember what you're made of? There's a moment in every fighter's life where the ring goes silent. No coach, no cheering, no sympathy, just pain and pressure. And the echo of one question, are you done? Or are you born for this? That's where your why comes alive, not on the stage, not at the celebration, but in the dark when no one's watching, when the alarm clock rings and your bed says no, when you fail for the 15th time and your ego whispers, let it go. That's when most people fold, because they were only in it while it was easy. They were tourists in the land of purpose, but warriors build homes there. They bleed on that soil, and they plant seeds that don't bloom for years, because their why told them it's worth it. This is why motivation is dangerous, because it gives you just enough energy to start, but not enough character to stay. You don't rise in life because you feel like it. You rise because you made a vow, and you're not here to break it. Do you think Kobe Bryant was motivated every morning? No, he was obsessed. He showed up before the sun rose and stayed when the gym lights turned off, because his why didn't care about rest. It demanded results. Do you think Elon Musk built rockets because he was motivated? No, he was ridiculed, doubted, laughed at. but he had a why louder than the world's laughter. So he kept building. He kept burning time, money, and sleep. Because vision doesn't wait for applause. You see, the world gives rewards to those who don't ask for motivation. It gives power to those who decide once and never debate again. Because when you decide, you eliminate hesitation. And when hesitation dies, discipline is born. Discipline isn't hard when your why is clear. Discipline becomes your default. You don't fight your old self, you bury it. And you walk with your new one like a soldier walks with his scars. Proud, unshaken, certain. There is no path for those who wait for feeling. There is only movement for those who are led by meaning. So stop looking for hype. Stop begging for momentum. Stop trying to feel ready. Start remembering your why. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Tattoo it into your habits. Because when your why is loud enough, excuses become whispers, pain becomes progress, and you become unbreakable. Clarity is a weapon, and most people walk through life unarmed. They wander, they scroll, they imitate, they chase shadows, hoping one of them might feel like destiny. But destiny doesn't show up at your doorstep with flowers. Destiny waits for you at the edge of fear, at the end of comfort, at the exact place you keep avoiding. You think you need motivation? No, you need direction. You need to know what you're building, down to the brick, the blueprint, the blood price. Because vague goals produce vague action, and vague action leads to vague lives. But when your vision becomes specific, your life becomes surgical. You start cutting out what doesn't serve. You start saying no like your future depends on it, because it does. You walk different, talk different, wake up different, because now you're a builder, a sculptor. You don't wake up wondering what to do. You wake up on fire because your why assigned you this mission. Let me ask you this. What does your dream look like? Can you describe it in such brutal detail that someone could paint it without asking for a second word? If not, you're not serious yet. Steve Jobs wasn't just trying to build a computer. He was trying to revolutionize the entire way humans interact with information. He had a vision that outlived his body because his why wasn't about him. It was bigger than him. It had to exist. And so he became the vessel. That's what your why does. It makes you a vessel. Suddenly, your comfort doesn't matter. Your reputation doesn't matter. Even your pain doesn't matter. Because your life has been claimed by a mission too large to ignore. And you don't need motivation when you're possessed by a mission. You only need to move. Action becomes your religion. You pray through progress. You worship through repetition. And when the world sleeps, you build every single day. Because movement kills doubt. It silences the inner critic. It shuts the mouth of fear and says, "Sit down, I have work to do." You think courage is some magical quality. No, courage is the consequence of clarity. When you know what must be done, fear becomes background noise. When Lincoln faced a divided nation, when Carnegie faced bankruptcy, when Mandela faced a lifetime behind bars, they didn't wait to feel ready. They acted because their why screamed louder than their fear. So here's the truth. If you're stuck, if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, it's not that you're lazy. It's that your why is still blurry, your vision's still negotiable. You're still asking for permission when you should be issuing orders to your own mind. And your mind, it obeys what you repeat. Feed it purpose, and it becomes your weapon. Feed it distraction, and it becomes your prison. So stop saying, "I don't know what to do." That's not the truth. The truth is, you do know. You're just afraid of what it will cost. You're afraid of judgment, afraid of failure, afraid that once you begin, there's no going back. And you're right, there is no going back. But let me ask you this. Why would you want to? Would you return to the version of you that settled, that postponed, that begged for motivation instead of owning the damn fire? Or will you become someone unrecognizable, someone forged in clarity, someone whose name becomes synonymous with impact? The world isn't changed by motivated people. It's changed by obsessed people. People who are too busy building to care how they feel. People who've made peace with discomfort and shook hands with discipline. Not once, but daily. Because once your why takes over, there's no more waiting, only working, only becoming. There comes a moment when the excuses stop sounding clever. When your own voice starts to disgust you. When the mirror no longer reflects a dreamer, but a traitor. A traitor to your potential, to your calling, to the future you were born to build. And in that moment, you either rise or remain. But don't be mistaken. No lightning bolt is coming. No savior is knocking. No perfect plan will fall from the sky and whisper, "Now is the time." Because now has always been the time, and you have always been the one. You don't need another book, another course, another morning routine or productivity hack. You need one thing, one fire, one truth etched into your soul. This life is yours to command, or it will command you. You can either program your subconscious, or be programmed by the noise of a world that wants you small, distracted, forgettable. You can either architect your days, or be buried under routines built by someone else's dreams. The battle isn't out there. It's in your spine, in your decisions when no one's watching, in how you talk to yourself when everything falls apart, in whether you let fear rewrite your story or burn it to write a new one. Understand this, your why is not just a reason to act. It is the anchor when life storms hit. It's what keeps you building when the audience is gone. What fuels you when success is still silent. What keeps your fists clenched when the universe dares you to quit. Success is not earned through convenience. It is wrestled from resistance. It is purchased with sweat and silence and night so long you forget what sleep feels like. But in the end, it is yours because you refuse to be ordinary, because you refuse to hand over your power to doubt, to comfort, to circumstance. The people who change the world are not the smartest, not the most talented, but the most committed, the most relentless, the ones who said, "Even if it takes me a decade, I will not die unknown to myself." And maybe the world won't understand you. Maybe they'll call you obsessed, intense, even insane. But legends are always misunderstood before they're remembered. So let them doubt, let them talk, let them stare while you build, while you train, while you become the version of yourself they never saw coming. And when the day comes, because it will, when the doors finally open, when the dream is no longer a sketch, but a skyline, you'll stand tall, not just because you made it, but because you earned every step, because you moved without applause, because you breathed life into a vision no one else could see. And that, my friend, is not motivation. That is your why. Fully awakened, that is purpose in motion. That is destiny finally catching up to you. So don't wait, don't wish, don't look outside. Go deeper, dig until it hurts. Then dig deeper, because buried under the layers of fear, doubt, comfort, and noise is your why, waiting, burning, ready to lead. And when you finally say yes, fully, fiercely, forever, you'll never need motivation again.